All right, friends, it's T-Man, and I'm back with another video. Oh my God, it's you know who, man? Jason Blaha, strength and fitness, the lifting gym recruiting lifting slave. Yes, himself, the number one guy himself. We're gonna review this video together, friends. Jason Blaha says, "Fit pros. If your blood work is terrible, no, you don't know more than your doctor." Um, I don't think Jason Blaha knows anything because he's a human. No human knows anything on this planet. But he's going to pretend like he knows something. That's why he keeps pumping out videos. He's the pretend to know it all guy, the pretend guy who says or thinks he knows it all.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I thought I would sit down and do another video for you guys and gals.
Oh, that water is clear. Look at that. It's clear water.
Let me get a sip of my water first.
You know, it's about time you stop drinking that fucking sugar, man, that Kool-Aid, dude. It's like plutonium, man. No wonder why your hair is falling out. I mean, your diet is pure sugar, Blaha. What do you expect? That's why you look like a melted candle. That's what sugar does to you.
A beautiful radio voice going, and let's talk about this. Again, this is...
Hey, Blaha, what's sugar, man? Is that a carbohydrate? What's a carbohydrate, sugar? What is that? Is that a vitamin of some sort? Is that like a nutrient? Is that like an amino acid? What is that? Oh, it's nothing. It's sugar. Okay.
something I have covered not that long ago, but I'm still seeing it happen. I've seen it happen in a few different places of where you have personal trainers, coaches, things like that, who in groups online, they will stand there and discuss their own blood work, and they'll downplay negative health markers, right? And usually it's LDL. Sometimes it'll be...
Why? Because you heard something, somebody told you something somewhere, Blaha, and you believe that? Oh, you know, when it comes to the food industry, it's highly regulated by these mafia people, okay? That's how they make their money off of it. Why don't you go eat some Cheetos, man? Flaming hot Cheetos.
things like, fasting glucose and stuff like that. And here's the problem with a lot.
This is the most unnatural idiot. He's going to try to convince you that eating your natural diet is unhealthy for you, and eating something that's unhealthy, that is unnatural, is healthy. What the fuck?
That. A lot of these people will then get upset and say, well, doctors want me to go on medications, or they're like, my doctor wants me to go on meds, and they will chime in. And
of course they want you to go on meds. That's how they make their money, you dumbass. Are you fucking stupid, Blaha?
Tell them, oh, don't go on those medications. Mine is even worse, and I don't take anything for it.
Yeah, you need all these things because you're on a healthy diet, right? Your unnatural diet is so healthy, tofu, pasta, and all that. That's why you need these drugs, because it's so healthy for you, right, Blaha? Yeah.
And I think that's ridiculous when it's something like LDL. And it's, again, the problem.
Discover more.
They will stand there and say, well, doctors don't know anything about nutrition. Well, doctors know.
Nutrition? Doctors don't know anything. Nutrition, I don't know about nutrition. They just know how to prescribe stuff. They're not going to tell you anything.
A lot about blood work, and they know when you need meds or not. And here,
yeah, they know blood work, and they know how to give you meds. Are meds natural? Where are they found in nature, Blaha? Nowhere. See what I mean? None of these things that doctors are doing are natural. They're all unnatural. They're pretending. They're acting. They're acting doctor, you fucking idiot. Like you, acting fucking coach. You are an acting fucking mental maniac coach, bro. I'm telling you, you are a maniac.
the simple point.
You are a sick man sitting behind the screen with a bald head, dude. Yelling and screaming because you're suffering from Napoleon complex, manlet complex, I call it.
That people miss.
A genetic defect, genetic failure.
We're in the fitness world. You may not know that much about nutrition either, because we see that a lot. We see people who are personal trainers.
You know, you do know, if you take away this artificial world, what are you left with? You don't need to know much about nutrition now, do you? You're going to hunt animals. You're going to eat them just like the native people did here in North America. You know what native people did? They hunted bison. Yeah, I know that's hard for you to understand. That's hard for you to comprehend, Blaha, but the native people here, they ate bison. They didn't farm. What the fuck would they farm for? They ate bison and they were healthy. And they were vibrant, they were strong, and they lived a long life, okay? Until man came here. They didn't even have disease. But man got disease because they started eating artificial diets like plants. They started farming them and engineering them, and they started eating them. And they got diseased. Yes, they got diseases. And then they brought their diseases over to the native people, right? They introduced their diseases and shit. And they tried wiping, they were going to wipe. Well, I guess you could say maybe it was accidental. They started wiping them out because they caught these diseases from these European colonists, bro, get it? And they started getting really sick. You know, the colonists were jealous because the natives were healthy. They were never sick, and they ate a natural diet bison. So what did Americans do? They started slaughtering all the bison all across America so they can take away their natural habitat and their natural diet and their natural lifestyle. They wanted to rob them of their natural way of life. And they did. They accomplished that because that's what people who are erratic and mentally sick in their brain eating these fucking toxic plants do, because they get crazy. They're nuts. Get it? They're nuts.
But why is your diet so bad that your LDL is completely out of range? Why?
Your diet's so bad because it hasn't changed. You as a colonist hasn't changed in the last 2,000 years. You still think that you could adapt to eating these plants, but you can't. You're just your body is just tolerating it. You understand me?
Is your fasting glucose completely out of range? What is going on in your lifestyle that's causing this? Because we'll see it also when it's inflammatory markers or something else. Or you'll see lifters who are like, I lift and I'm strong and I'm fit. But then you see their blood work and it's like, you're not fit. I can tell from looking.
I don't know. Let's see this guy's blood work. Let's do a comparison. All right.
Spring.
This guy's got some blood work.
Lipoprotein, the bad cholesterol. The reference range is 0 to 100. In 4 months, I was 207, which was very high. 1 year in, wait for it, 347. So my total cholesterol 4 months in was 270. Now it's
All right, hold on a second. Hold on, let's go back.
Diet cholesterol. Let's talk about the first thing on the lipid panel, which is triglycerides. Okay, the reference range is 10 to 150 milligrams per deciliter. 4 months in, I was at 55, and I was very happy with that number.
This guy did a test. All right, he's called carnivore. He's called the carnivore couple. He did a carnivore blood work after 1 year. Stock cholesterol.
1 year in, I'm at 65 milligrams per deciliter. Next up is HDL cholesterol, which is the good cholesterol. The reference range is 40 to 59. 4 months in, I was at 52, and 1 year in, I'm at 61. So actually, it went up, and actually, it's above that reference range. But I'm happy with this, and I'll kind of explain that here in a second. All right, let's talk about the dreaded LDL cholesterol, low density lipoprotein, the bad cholesterol. The reference range is 0 to 100. In 4 months, I was 207, which was very high. 1 year in, wait for it, 347. So my total cholesterol 4 months in was 270. Now it's 421. Am I concerned about this extremely high LDL? No. Let's get into that. So it seems like the most important number when it comes to evaluating risk of heart disease and as it correlates to cholesterol is actually your triglyceride to HDL ratio. And research has shown that people with the highest ratio of triglycerides to HDL actually have a 16% increase in their risk of cardiovascular disease versus those who have a lower ratio of triglycerides to HDL.
How about that, eh? Isn't that interesting?
Question is, what is the ideal ratio for triglycerides to HDL? Well, anything 4 to 1 or higher is very high risk. 3 or lower is moderate risk. 2 to 1 is low risk. Anything 1 or less is optimum. 4 months in, my ratio was actually...
So it has nothing to do with LDL. It has all to do with triglyceride to HDL ratio. How about that, eh? Isn't that interesting?
1.5, so I was very happy with that. 1 year in, my ratio was 1.0, so it's trending down. Even though my triglycerides and HDL went up, the ratio actually went down, so I'm very happy with that number. Let's talk about another reason why I'm not really concerned about my sky-high LDL. There's something called a lean mass hyperresponder phenotype, and this is actually discovered by Professor Dave Feldman. What this means is basically you have high HDL, low triglycerides, and extremely high LDL cholesterol if you've been on a low-carb diet for any period of time. So to get more scientific about it, Journal of Clinical Lipidology recognized this phenomenon and defines a lean mass hyperresponder based on the following criteria. Baseline LDL prior to carbohydrate restriction was typically normal. Degree of LDL elevation is inversely related to a BMI with a low triglyceride to HDL ratio, which is exactly what's going on with me. There are no shared genetics with familial hypercholesterolemia, which I do not have. Also, this presents in context of otherwise low cardiometabolic risk factors, such as low triglycerides to HDL ratio, low blood pressure, low waist to hip ratio, and high insulin sensitivity, which in my situation, I meet all that criteria. So with everything else I'm looking at, it looks like I am actually a lean mass hyperresponder. Now, if you feel like you're a lean mass hyperresponder, it's recommended to work with your doctor to talk about this and maybe get further testing to see how things go, maybe get a lot of blood work down the road every so often, and that'll help monitor those things. Now, unfortunately, there aren't very many studies in regards to lean mass hyperresponder phenotypes. However, there is currently one in the works. Dr. Matt Budoff, which is a highly regarded...
So there you go. I'm going to go back to Blaha again, man. So there you go. I don't know what Blaha's talking about again. He thinks he's a doctor.
Blackjack, poker.
That they know, the leading cardiologists and experts in atherosclerosis know that elevated...
Yes, they know, these cardiovascular doctors and all that. They know. They don't know anything. They're humans, you fucking asshole. No fucking human on this planet fucking knows anything. Why the fuck do they need to go take blood tests and everything and they fucking you anything, you asshole?
LDL outside of the normal range is the cause of atherosclerosis. In fact, even being in the upper end of the normal range will eventually give it to you.
Yeah, we're mind readers.
It's just that it's not going to happen till you're 90 or 80 or something. Do we understand what I...
You're not going to make it to 80 or 90, Blaha. I say Blaha's going to die at 50, eating this artificial diet. He's going to die at 50. He's not going to make it after 50, 51. I say 51 the max.
I mean, so even being, under 100, if it's still at that higher end of that healthy range.
And I'm going to tell you what Blaha's going to die of, cardiovascular disease, 51.
Age is still going to be there. But yeah, if your LDL is over 100, you need to be on medication. You either need to fix your diet or go on meds. And
if they put Blaha on meds, he'll be dead sooner than later. Then I say 50. But if he makes it without any meds, he'll make it to 51. He'll be dead. Cardiovascular disease.
Therein lay the problem. People get offended who lift in their trainers because they're like,
well, it's either that or the fucking diabetes is going to kill him. I don't know which one's going to kill him first. The diabetes or these metabolic diseases he's suffering from, skin diseases. Because, what's it called? Psoriasis, what he suffers from, it shortens your lifespan. You can read that up on Google. Psoriasis, this skin disease, it shortens your lifespan, so you could die. So I don't know if the psoriasis is going to do him in by 51, or cardiovascular disease, or diabetes, or his metabolic diseases, or his fucking ear problems, or any of these things are going to fucking do him in. But one of them are going to do him in. He's going to die by 51, I say.
My doctor is saying, I need to fix my lifestyle. Well, what does he know? Well, he knows that your blood work is bad, and he knows that you're going to have a heart attack. So
you can have a heart attack even if it doesn't show up in your blood work. Something may show up in your blood work, so you think there's something bad there. But what if you had good blood work and then you had a heart attack and you died, Blaha? See what I mean?
He doesn't need to be an expert on nutrition to see your blood work and say either you need to fix your diet. I mean, I can send you to a dietitian, or we can go on medication.
Dietitians don't know anything. They're nobody. They're just people, okay? They don't know fuck all.
But either way, we got to do something because we can't have your LDL at 110, 120, 130.
Yeah, didn't you just see that video I just played for you, you fucking asshole? Like, are you fucking that stupid, man? Christ.
And then you'll see the other trainers will chime in these conversations, and I've watched one of them. Well, mine is at 130, and I won't take a statin. Okay, well, you're an idiot. Basically what you are.
None of this stuff affects people on a natural diet, okay? It's never affected these native people when the crazy colonists came here with their eating crazy plants that made them fucking nuts and shit, and smoking it, eating it, shoving it up their buttholes and whatever else, and drinking it all day long, fucking toxic plants. So being a drug addict all their lives, these colonists on fucking sugar, because sugar's a drug. So coming over here, man, these natives must have thought that these fucking colonists were fucking retarded or mentally sick, like this asshole with his hair loss, the hair loss and all that. They're like, what's the matter with you people? He looks sick. You look nasty. They do. They look sick and nasty, and they get more sick and nasty as they age. Man, people look, when you see old people walking around, they're all crunched over. They got so many problems. They look like the life's been sucked out of them. The people here, when they age, the native people, they didn't look like that. They still looked good. They were intact. They looked like that rancher, what's her name? The one that it's on that carnivore doctor's channel. She's like 82. She looks like she's fucking 40 or something, man. She looks amazing. She doesn't look like the life's been sucked out of her or she's overweight.
So here's the question people ask. How could someone have a high LDL if they're fit and lean and athletic?
It's easy because they're eating your stupid diet, Blaha.
Well, barring too much gear use.
What did you mean by fit and healthy? Fit has nothing to do with health. Being good at doing stuff has nothing to do with health or lifting a heavy weight or anything. Health has everything to do with what you shove in your mouth, you ding dong.
Because anabolics can play a role there, right? We all know this. Too many anabolics play a role.
Anabolics are highly toxic. Anything toxic that goes in your body that's made by plants is going to destroy you slowly. Yeah, toxicity could cause toxic plants, eating them or injecting them can cause cardiovascular disease.
But setting that aside,
it's what's causing your chronic disease, these metabolic diseases that you're suffering from, Blaha. That's what's causing it. Your TRT is causing it, and your psoriasis and everything else, your skin disease, and the plants that you're eating, these plant foods, or these fake foods like pasta and tofu and whatever else there.
Too much saturated fat in their diet. Barring certain types and certain forms, like whole milk doesn't seem to cause it, but butter does. Okay, so that's documented. Whole fat yolk.
Butter does not cause cardiovascular disease. And I don't know about this fake milk, whatever, or other stuff, your processed shit.
It doesn't cause elevated LDL, but butter does. All red meats do. Eggs do.
Okay. Let's say that your natural diet raises LDL. What did the guy say in the video? He said it's the triglyceride to HDL ratio. That is what causes it. Has nothing to do with LDL on a carnivore diet. On your natural diet. Has nothing to do with that on your natural diet. Yeah, dude.
Coconut oil does. Palm oil does. Palm oil is way up there. It's even worse than.
Okay, coconut oil and palm oil does because it's from plants. That's what's going to cause it, okay? That's something shitty.
Coconut oil. Okay, these things all elevate your LDL, and if you eat large amounts of them, guess what? I don't care if it fits your macros. It can fit your macros all that you want.
Listen, people used to write me on my old channel. I used to do, I used to check my blood pressure. Remember, I used to check it to show people because they said, oh my God, you're eating all that red meat. You're going to, have all these problems with blood pressure and all that. No, my blood pressure is absolutely perfect. It was always perfect. Remember how much red meat I ate at the buffet in those old videos, man? I just worked down shitloads and I still eat red meat. I eat it as red as raw. I don't know what people mean by red. Raw meat? Yeah, basically it's not fully cooked. Okay. The rawer the meat, the better it is for you. So I eat red raw meat, a lot of it. Okay, bro? And guess what? I'm healthier than I've ever been. The only time I was ever unhealthy was when I was bored with COVID and I started eating like these fruits and stuff because they were cheap back then. So I just started eating them because they were available and cheap. Now they're expensive. I'm not going to eat them no more. And I discovered not to eat them. And so I eat meat now. Meat has actually gone down in price, and all these plant foods have gone up in price. So it works out, kind of works out for me, man. I can eat as much meat as I want. Listen, the last 2 days I ate a whole chicken. I ate a whole chicken yesterday, I ate a whole chicken today, and I still ate eggs, of course, my usual raw eggs in the morning, 4 raw eggs. And tomorrow I'm going to have a beautiful ribeye roast steak. I make it into practically a steak because it's so thick and nice and it's juicy. And I'm going to have that, and I'm going to have some raw eggs. And yeah, I'm just going to, the only thing I'm going to do is barbecue about half a minute on one side of that meat and the other side and eat it practically raw. Yeah, and then later, I don't know what I'm gonna eat later in the evening. I might have another piece of steak or something. I don't know, man. Get it? Because that's a lot of meat, and it's very highly nutrient based. So you don't really have to eat a lot during the day. I'm quite filled with like, the more raw you eat, the less hunger you have. But the more you overcook these things or fry them, whatever, kill them, you especially kill the what is it, the water soluble vitamins. They get killed in the heat, so you don't want that.
Fit your macros all day long. You still have too much saturated fat in your diet, probably not enough polyunsaturated fats.
I love it when he thinks he knows something.
Okay, it's very clear. Too much bad fat, not enough good fat.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether you believe the fat.
Too much bad, too much, not enough good fat, bad fat, blah, blah, blah. Animal fat is the best fat that you can eat. You should eat a lot of animal fat and protein, mostly animal fat and then protein. And some protein, not more protein than animal fat. It should be more animal fat than protein, and seafood. Because fish, very fatty fish, man. I eat a lot of fatty fish. It's amazing for you, man.
You eat or bad or not's irrelevant. Your blood work says that whatever you're doing, your body is unhappy with. So you can be in denial all that you want and say, well, I don't believe, I think that they've been overhyped as bad, and I'm going to keep eating large amounts of them. But if you've got 120 LDL cholesterol, your body is telling you that you're wrong. That for you personally, they clearly are a problem. So no matter what your opinion is irrelevant. This is objective data that your diet is bad. And people don't like to hear that in the fitness world. They want to believe that they know more than medical doctors, registered dietitians. They know more than the researchers who work in the metabolic ward and study the effects in the body of nutrition. I'm going to be honest, you don't. I don't. I might have studied a lot of nutrition, but at the end of the day, for me to have the all day.
You can study it forever. You learn by experience, and you just have to figure out what's out in nature. His problem is he thinks that this fantasy world we live in, this artificial world, is actually real. What we're doing here is real. I bet you Blaha thinks that Cheetos are real. He's like, yeah, Cheetos, they grow out there in the forest, in nature. He's gonna go buy a bunch of Cheetos now and eat them, thinking they're healthy.
Capacity to think that I know more about nutrition and healthy nutrition than an expert who works.
See, he knows more about healthy nutrition than some expert, because tofu, which is unnatural, it's man-made, is so nutritious and healthy for you. And pasta, which is man-made, it can't be found in nature, must be nutritious and healthy for you. See, man outdoes himself all the time. Yeah, he's better than nature, of course. Blaha thinks that man can do better than nature. You can never do better than nature than eating your natural diet. Meat, animals, bro.
In the metabolic ward, who has a PhD in the field,
Now, if we were grazers like cows and these like goats and animals and stuff and cows, you know, and horses grazing on grass all day, well, okay, yeah, we'd probably be out there grazing on the grass. But guess what? We are not herbivores. We don't graze on grass. What we do is we eat meat. You get it? We're apex predators.
No, I don't know more than them on it. I don't have the experience that they do working with it directly hands-on. I can read the information that they
What experience do they have working with artificial stupid shit that man made? Give me a break.
put out later. I can try to apply it myself and in my clients, but I don't know more than they do. And so when people have that audacity that because they're a personal trainer, that they know more about nutrition than these other medical experts, well, then why do you have bad blood work?
Excuse me? Bad blood work on what? On an unnatural diet or natural diet? Which one is it, Blaha? You never really specify which one.
You know so much about it, unless it's your drug abuse causing it, why do you have bad blood work?
You mean eating Cheetos all day and drinking alcohol like you do? Well, because you shouldn't be eating Cheetos and alcohol all day. These plant foods, they're all drugs, dude.
Well, the answer is obvious to these people. You don't know as much.
Man, ask yourself this question. Why do kids have bad blood work that eat fucking Cheetos and Coca-Cola all day? You know what I mean? This is stupid shit. Why does Blaha have bad blood work eating tofu, pasta, mustard and hot dogs and beans and coffee, which is highly toxic, and a bunch of other crap and Kool-Aid and shit and all that, and eating carbs and sugar all day? Why is his blood work so bad? Want to know why? Because he's eating stuff that he's not supposed to. That's why. That is unnatural.
You think about nutrition, and here's the problem there too. If your blood work looks like that and you're a personal trainer, or you're someone out giving out nutrition advice, and your LDL is 130, with anything over 100, doctors like to prescribe statins.
Yeah, but I just went over this. I played a video for you. That's not really how it works, Blaha.
Then maybe you don't need to be giving nutrition to your clients in a professional environment because you don't know enough.
Okay.
All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative.
Nobody knows anything because they're all tricked. They're all slaves. They've been enslaved, you asshole, like you.
And I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
It's like Blaha has enslaved everybody as well. He's enslaved you. He's enslaved these people like a coach. He's like, I'm a coach. Let me enslave you for $300. Oh, I'll enslave you to lift a heavy weight. Yes, all day. And eat an artificial diet of tofu and pasta. No thanks, man. Anyways, I gotta go, man. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Borowski. Yes, unnatural diets.